Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here on August 9th, 2017. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the solar eclipse with you. I was listening to Imus in the morning, and everybody thinks she's a wacko, but his wife was bringing it up. I can't play it for you because I'm not really sure how the copyright works with YouTube. I don't want to get flagged, so I'm just going to have to explain it to you real quick. They're explaining the solar eclipse. Now, everybody is wondering why. You know, the last one that we had was apparently in 1918 that covered the entire U.S. Now, I was listening to Mark Sargent's show, and we did have a solar eclipse back when I was in 8th grade. It was like the early 80s or late 70s or something like that. But that wasn't panning across the entire U.S. The reason why they keep saying that this is the first one we've had in 100 years is this is the first one that we've had in 100 years that's panned across the entire U.S. So everybody in the U.S. can pretty much see it. You know, whether it being a quarter or not a full solar eclipse, but everybody can see it. Even New York. As a matter of fact, in New York, we're going to see up to a 70% saturation of the eclipse. And the further down on the East Coast you go, the more of the eclipse you're going to see. So, actually, Mark Sargent was correct with stating that. Some other people in the chat room were talking about that too, saying that I remember there was a total eclipse of the sun not too long ago. So, anyway, that's that. I just wanted to throw that out there. And another thing too, Imus's wife was talking about the shadow of the moon only is going to be 70 miles long. And of course, I think there's somebody on the show too who has like master's degrees and all that crap. I guess he's one of the smartest ones there. And he comes out and states, well, that's not the size of the moon, only 70 miles large. That's just the shadow that it can, blah, 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 blah. You know, all that shit. Well, no, that's incorrect, because if the sun was a star, the light that it would be emitting would be all over the place, saturating every single thing. You probably wouldn't even be able to see an eclipse, as far as I'm concerned. So the fact that it, down to the millimeter, that the sun and the moon, or the moon is covering the sun and creating this solar eclipse, goes right there to show you that this is a projection, you know? Or it's not as big as we know it is. I mean, there's been stories at 73 miles in length, you know, the sun about the same size. So I don't know, but all I'm saying is the fact that we could even see a solar eclipse of the sun goes to show that everything that we've been taught is pure bullshit, you know? And the science teacher in class in high school, and you're talking about preliminary classes here, they're not very difficult, a couple of simple astronomy classes, don't take in the factor that the light that the sun would be emitting would saturate the entire sky. You wouldn't see a blue sky. You just wouldn't. So just opening your eyes about that. Now, there's also a big question about the sun rising in the east and setting in the west. And, well, that's very true, because the sun does do that. So how could it be possible that the moon, the shadow of the moon, is now moving across from west to east? Now, I've seen some other videos on this, and they're quite educational. And I'm just bringing it up because it's absolutely true. It makes no sense at all, because, you know, even the fact that the moon would be moving with the sun, it's impossible because it's moving in opposite directions. So it wouldn't be going from west to east. It should be going from east to west. It should be hitting New York first. It should be hitting the East Coast. Right there, another fact that the Earth is flat. You know, now if you take the flat map and you put it out, and you put the Earth and and you put the sun and the moon, and you create a solar eclipse, then it makes sense. The flat map actually proves that the solar eclipse is possible. on a round ball, it's not. It makes no sense. I mean, it's impossible. Now that they're also saying is they can't even pinpoint the exact saturation of 100% solar eclipse. It's such bullshit. Astronomy should know about where exactly this should be. And they say because it's a fact of the Earth wobbling. Bullshit. I don't buy it. That's complete horseshit. Astronomers should know exactly and be able to pinpoint this thing down to the millimeter of where you can see 100% saturation of the solar eclipse. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable people don't see this. Am I the only one? I mean, come on. Come on, people, please wake up. The Earth is flat. Nothing you've been told is true. All right. I think I've said what I had to say.